W tej sesji usłyszymy 4 referaty i rozpoczniemy od referatu anglojęzycznego, który wygłosi pan Michael Politz z Uniwersytetu Świętego Tomasza w Houston, USA, a tytuł referatu to Recognition or Understanding, Classifying Objects in AI Image Recognition and Thomistic Psychology.
Jeszcze na wstępie tak powiem, tylko że w ramach tłumaczenia, tam spróbuję podsumować jeszcze, nie? Kilka zdań na koniec, natomiast spróbowaliśmy i działa, warto sobie włączyć w Google Translate, tam jest funkcja rozmowy na żywo. Dobre jest nagłośnienie, on wszystko zbiera i normalnie na bieżąco tłumaczy, także AI pomaga trochę tu, warto skorzystać, bo nie trzeba się tutaj męczyć z tym, że ktoś przerywa, tłumaczy, tylko na bieżąco leci. Niewiele tylko podsumujemy kilka zdań na koniec, także będzie gładko i przyjemnie, mam nadzieję. Także proszę sobie to włączyć, tam jest takie pozwolenie, czy inni uczestnicy się zgadzają, no to tak, że się zgadzają i wtedy tłumaczenie jest na żywo. Dobra.
Okay. Thank you all very much. It is an honor to be here. This is my first time in Poland, and I've been lucky enough to be shown around. We saw many beautiful churches and the Fountain Light Show last night. So thank you all very, very much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Okay, so let's talk about AI. I am finishing my PhD now at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas. Specifically on the limitations of AI from the perspective of St. Thomas Aquinas. So I will keep my Latinisms to a minimum for the presentation and try best I can to present in as general terms as possible. And I see my format didn't quite survive the trip across the Atlantic, so I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what we're going to see on the PowerPoint. But today I'm going to be addressing a very specific issue. And so far we've talked many wonderful presentations on large language models, especially ChatGPT. I'm happy to be presenting in this order because I'm going to be talking about image recognition in AI as well. So utilizing another sense here. So, oh, wonderful. So to give context to this talk, I'm going to speak first on the anxiety of AI and why this issue is an issue in the first place, kind of framing things. And then moving on, I'd like to talk about what is recognition, what AI systems that utilize image recognition can do, and why it is a worry to us. And then addressing this problem, should it be a worry in the first place? So starting off, as with every AI system, there's seemingly this incurring dread that is happening that I like to call the anxiety of AI, where no matter the different AI system, when they do things that are similar to a human function, a human power, especially human cognitive powers, and when they can do it on par with or greater than the extent than we can do, there seems to be this underlying anxiety within us. And especially in AI image recognition systems, this anxiety comes forefront because recognition, we usually like it to walk hand in hand with understanding. So if AI can recognize something in reality, just like a human can, then there's the incipient thought of, what if it can understand as well? So with that, oh, it's a little messed up. Sorry about that. So with that in mind, to first define my terms, so to recognize something is to take some instance of reality and either say it is some preconceived notion of a particular or a universal, to say that this is that. To take a dog, for instance, and to see it and to say, oh, this is a dog, a very universal general notion, or to say, I'm out and about looking for my dog, he's gone lost, and lo and behold, there he is, there's Pavlov. I've recognized him. I found the part of reality I was looking for. So to recognize, to find some part of reality and say, ah, there it is. This is what AI image recognition systems try to do. And there's two main streams of image recognition. There's either supervised AI image recognition or unsupervised. And I'm going to be generalizing quite a bit here, but in supervised versions, as opposed to unsupervised versions, there's no version of it that is completely devoid of human engineering, human interaction, humans having to work the system to program it, to teach it in some way. It's just unsupervised AI image recognition utilizes human interference much, much less. So, in supervised AI image recognition, and really any type of AI image recognition, it follows a very streamlined process. First, you have to set up the programming architecture. You have to make your AI, and then you have to train it. You have to provide it with data upon data, and in this case, it's digital image after digital image over and over and over again until the AI system is able to accurately classify this or that. So in supervised image recognition, you have some engineer, and the engineer sets up these categories of, okay, AI, I want you to recognize a dog as opposed to a bird, or in the case of this image here, a zebra as opposed to a fox or an elephant. And all of these images are from various studies, and if I don't have them cited here, I'll have them in the comments if anyone's interested. So it's trying to take some digital image, and after it's been trained over and over and over again, we want to get it to the point where you can take any image, take a picture of anything, and then AI will accurately classify it for you. So I can say that, okay, I'll take a picture of the chair, and AI will tell me that's a chair as opposed to a dog or an elephant or so on and so forth. And the way it does this is by filtering down pixels. And again, this is a major generalization, but it's able to accurately see, okay, the intensity of the pixel here is it's very dark, very dark, very dark. Oh, all of a sudden it goes light. That must be an edge, or that must be some contour here. And so we run these filters or kernels over and over and over the image until a massive amount of data is present, which we then pool and layer further and streamline it further and further down until we get a singular data representation, a vector that says, okay, based on all these different differences in pixelation, all these different differences in intensity in the different in pixels and patterns and features that we've mapped, I think this is a chair or a dog or so on and so forth. So once it gets down to the AI system classifying the picture it's taken by running all the different filters, layering all the different data, and getting it down to a single vector, and it says, I think this is a chair, or in the case of facial recognition, I believe this is you, based on the different contours of your face. It seems to be able to recognize. In fact, we use it more often than not now, especially in the United States. For some reason, we're fascinated with birds, right? Birds and plants. All the time, we take a picture of what kind of plant is this, and then AI will tell you it's a hibiscus or it's a tulip, or oh, okay, thank you, AI. So we're fascinated with having some part of reality confirmed for us, and so it seems benign and all, but when it comes to that a machine is able to do this, to recognize parts of reality, when to the extent that it can recognize it even better than some humans can, it becomes somewhat worrisome. So the only difference I have here, and I'll go ahead and skip this slide in the instance of time, but unsupervised learning is when a human engineer is really not present. So the only major difference is that AI takes it upon itself to make its own classifications. So in the case here, we have apples and watermelon. So AI, as opposed to some engineer going in and saying that I want you to classify everything that looks like this as an apple and everything that looks like this as a watermelon, it just groups similarities together and says, all these things look alike, all these things look alike. I'm just going to title this one 1 and this one 2, or something general like that. But getting back to the anxiety of AI, so through these pattern recognitions, through immense complexity and able to process this massive amount of data, AI can go through, filter all the different, filter the data through different pixel values, get it down to a single value and say that this is accurately this or that, a chair, a dog, your face, so on and so forth. So why is this of concern, that AI can accurately classify and recognize parts of reality? Well, because anything that any AI system tries to do, I know it's a broad statement, but we like to use it to automate parts or powers of the human person. The human person is the prime analogate in the analogy of AI. AI is artificial intelligence. It can do something like a human, but when that likeness gets a little too close to a human standard, it becomes very worrisome. So now we can ask the question, does AI's ability to mimic human recognition entail understanding? So I'm going to give a brief overview of the Thomistic side of human understanding, and then judge, yes it does or no it doesn't. So in human recognition, it is never separate from human understanding, in the sense that all the different cognitive powers of the human person don't exist completely isolated from everything else. They all exist within the human person, which is a mental being, which is a physical being, which is a spiritual being. All these things exist within the cohesion of the human person. They never really exist in isolation. But what we like to do with AI is to isolate out various parts of what humans are capable of, mainly our computational abilities, and automate them so that we don't have to fool with it. Even something as simple as calculators. It's something we can do longhand. It's just really nice to be able to type a massive multiplication problem in and, oh, it's solved instantly for me. So it automates some power. 5 minutes. Thank you. So now, human recognition is never completely separate from human understanding, and I'll go quickly through this here, because human understanding is a mix of sensitive knowledge, intellectual knowledge, experiential knowledge. So something like the dog is depicted here, it's not that we see it as just this barking, fuzzy conglomerate of sights and sounds, and it's not that we see it as just this universal notion of dog completely devoid of any meaning in the here and now. Rather, we see it as a dog, something with this universal essence, right here, right now in front of me, this dog that's barking at me. So human understanding always begins in the senses, but then it has our intellectual component. And even more so for the sake of AI, judgment follows this apprehension. We're able to see that, okay, this dog is barking at me right now, but I might be mistaken. Let me verify this. Let me confirm. Let me judge that this is true. And then I can judge it right here now within reality. So we have access to truth in the sense that we can judge our apprehensions in the here and now. We can turn back upon our apprehensions and our understanding of the world and see, is this true? Well, I can test it right now. It's right here in front of me. So does mimicry of human recognition entail that AI can understand like we do? And this is a much longer standing issue, but in the short, no, not necessarily, because AI does not have this direct access to reality like we can. It cannot judge in the same sense. It always requires some technician, some engineer to either place it within a category or confirm that its recognition is true. So human understanding begins and ends in reality and our direct link to it. AI always must go through some data set, through some engineering feat, through some programming architecture, and then to confirm if its recognition is true doesn't entail some true act of understanding. What it entails is a human to tell if it was right or not. So, AI's lack of judgment really calls into question if it's able to understand in the first place. And if there's any one straight to the heart of the matter way of saying that it's really doubtful that AI can understand, well, it can't accurately judge in the way that a human can. So I will wrap it up very quickly here. So its lack of proper judgment, its lack of direct access to reality is completely different from the human way of understanding, because our way of understanding begins and ends in reality, both through sense knowledge and then again through confirmation of our intellectual knowledge through judgment. So AI's lack of access, direct access to reality, entails a lack of judgment, which entails a lack of true understanding. It can functionally mimic our ability to recognize, but that's about all we can say it can do. So this may not relieve the anxiety of AI, but it definitely calls into question this fundamental fear of, oh, AI can do something kind of like a human, it must be on par with the human. There's much more complexity to the human person, especially something as simple as our ability to recognize objects, than what AI is able to accomplish. Okay. I'll wrap it up here. Thank you all so very much. Thank you.